Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. It's all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem, in the name of Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. Preaching this word and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah. I'm going to respond to this pussy boy, LeBron Connor. I made a comment on the elder from South Carolina, Manatazak Ba's channel about the brother he preaches with. Right? You see the comment on the screen. It says you get you a new reader. How many decades you read this, and it's nigga, and you still stumbling. In 2025, when you have a full keyboard on your fucking phone, why do niggas not want to spell out the whole word? Come on. It says you loose the message on mispronounced words and stuttering. And he spelled everything. He spelled shit wrong, but it's whatever, bro. I'll say this. A man that stutters and does the work of the Lord is better than a man that don't. All right, when you go back into the scriptures, let me see if I can find that. Moses, he wasn't no outspoken dude like that. The Lord had to cut his ass. Right? As great as Moses was, the Lord had to step into Moses, because this is what he said. Exodus 4:11, it says, and Moses said unto Yahweh, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofro, right? Nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. So this dude would probably say some shit about Moses. You niggas you got no spirituality to you. And you look at everything for face value. It got to look good. It got to feel good. It got to sound good for it to be accepted before you niggas, man. But you're not worried about whether or not it's accepted with the Lord. Y'all niggas think that this is a message where you only get to speak if you're palatable. Do you forget that when the Lord was here, his message wasn't palatable for everybody? He was a lot of niggas was getting offended by Yahweh Shai. Said Yahweh Shai said statements that were stumbling blocks for people. He told niggas, hey, this is my flesh, eat it as often as you remember me. This is my blood of the new covenant. Drink it. And niggas was looking at him like, what? The niggas that weren't spiritual, they was looking at it like, oh, I gotta go. But the ones that were spiritual, they stuck with the Lord and got the understanding. You niggas just ain't no spiritual mofos, man. This is Matthew 26 and 73. It says, and after a while he came unto him. After a while came unto him they that stood by and said, Peter, surely thou art one of them, for thy speech bewrayeth thee. See, Peter even had a certain speech and how he talked that people knew exactly who he was, because remember they were coming out of the hood. Yahweh Shai went to the hood when he came and grabbed the disciples. So they didn't speak like everybody else. They weren't super eloquent, right? These were rough men, right? But his speech, it said his speech bewrayeth thee, right? Meaning it's showing that you were with him by how you speaking, how you talk, right? Your tone, your roughness, you not polished like the Pharisees. John 7:15, it says, and the Jews marveled, saying, how know this man letters, having never learned? Right? Now I'll start at 14. It says, John 7:14. Now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught, and the Jews marveled, saying, "How know this man letters, having never learned?" You see, Yahushua wasn't taught in for lack of better words, the colleges and the classes that the Pharisees were taught in. The Spirit was just with him. He was the walking Spirit. He is. But did he teach? Did he talk? Did he break things down like the Pharisees did? No. But that's how niggas want it. They want the worldly approach to the truth. If a man changed his entire life, right, and shaped himself after the order of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, y'all want it to come out the way you want it. And that's what's going to get a lot of niggas killed in these last days, because you want it how you want it, and you don't want what the Lord gave. If you came across the word and this is the man was there, and you didn't even give it a chance, hey, that's on you. Acts 4:13, it says, now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, right? That's what this dude is doing. He's perceiving that he's an unlearned, ignorant man because, he don't read smooth. He stutters. And we already got the scriptures. Moses was a slow tongue. He was stuttering. It wasn't smooth with Moses. Let me see if I can find another interpretation of that one from Moses. Exodus 4. So Exodus 4:11 in the Good News translation. It says, the Lord said unto whom, who gives men, no, I got to start up on this. Exodus 4:10, it says, but Moses said, no, Lord, no, Yahweh, don't send me. I have never been a good speaker. Right? It says this in the GNT, Exodus 4:11. Exodus 4:10, actually. It says, I have never been a good speaker. I haven't become one since you began to speak to me. I am a poor speaker, slow and hesitant. But a nigga will look at a brother that's actually doing the work and try to look down on him. Said in Acts 4:13, now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and that's what the dude saw, the boldness of two men out there, perceived that they were unlearned, ignorant men, they marveled. And that's what this nigga did. He knew what was being preached was right. He couldn't sit here and say, he was breaking it down wrong. Can't do that. All he can do is nitpick. Because if what Jake is doing now, I've seen it a lot. What Jake is doing now is because they see what the elders and apostles have been teaching and the men on down have been teaching is starting to come true. They feel like if they get any dub to accuse us of something, that the other stuff that we said is going to come true, that's coming down the pike, maybe those things won't be real. If you can find fault, the message is off. That's how niggas is acting. You can find fault with us, but who are you that judge another man's servant, man? Unto the Lord, he rise or fall. Like the scriptures say. It says they marveled and they took knowledge of them that they have been with Yahushua. And that's all the world's going to do. You're going to marvel and you're going to take knowledge that the Lord is with these two men. And I've had the pleasure to meet Elder Manatazak. I'm saying this brother's name wrong. Elder Manatazak Ba. Hey, I've had the pleasure to meet him. And the spirit is on him. You can tell in every video, bro. And the spirit is on the brother reading. For you to sit here and be so compelled, because fuck what you heard, man. I've seen that brother grow. His reading has gotten drastically better. And For a man to go out there knowing that he personally has a limitation and try to work it out with the Lord, you can't fuck with a man like that, man. Had the Most High chosen, it says back in this is 1 Corinthians 1:28, and by the base things of the world, you know what? I gotta start up. 1 Corinthians 1:27, but the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And that's what you're seeing. You looking down on a man. Okay, he's one of the foolish things of the world, and he's confounding the wise. It's apparently you think that you this great orator and reader. You can't even fucking type, nigga. And the Lord has confounded you. It says, and the Most High had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things that are mighty, and base things of the world, and the things which are despised has the Most High chosen. You see? He didn't have to be liked by you, nigga. He's still doing the work of the Lord. Yeah, and the things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are. And that's what's happening, man. You're a thing that's, the Lord is using the things that are not to bring to naught the things that are. You think you something, what the Lord is destroying you with the word. And that's what's happening. A lot of niggas is getting destroyed with the word. Proverbs 16:8. It says, better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without righteousness. And there is actually a different one I was looking for. Better is it with a little fear of the Lord. Let me see if I can find it, man. Yeah, right here. Proverbs 15:16. Better is little with the fear of Yahweh than great treasures and trouble therewith. And that's how niggas act. They act like you got to be everything. But they despise the fact that the Lord is dealing with you on the level he's dealing with you. And then you don't know the scriptures. So where in the scriptures sit here and say this 1 Corinthians 4:18, it says, now some are puffed up as though I would not come unto you, but I will come to you shortly if the Lord will. And will know, it says, not the speech of them which are puffed up, but the power. This nigga's puffed up, capital letters, everything. No power shown, no scriptures, nothing, no edification coming off this nigga. All right? Well, you seen the power of a man that's reading and stuttering, like you say. Right? That's what you seeing. You a puffed up nigga that's talking. And you got a man that's actually doing the words of the Lord. And then the prophets say that the Lord would take away the eloquent orator. All the shit talking, man. The scriptures tell you that every idle word is going to come into judgment. All that shit talking, man. At the end of the day, when the Lord makes his judgment, is how the brother read going to stop the salvation to come for him? Or is how you talking shit about a man doing the work of the Lord going to count against you more? These are things that carnal men don't think about. Carnal men don't try to sit here and think about what their words might cause them to get. But a spiritual man, right, like the scriptures say, a righteous man walks with fear, basically. Walking on eggshells. You trying to sit here and not slip up. Blessed is he that had not slipped with his tongue, like it's written. But a nigga won't be like that, man. Shalom.